Okay. So last week we actually covered how to make your questionnaire, how to prepare your questionnaire. Edit surveys was the topic for our last week. So before I move ahead, just I would touch base upon the topic we covered in last week, so that you can have a hang on, and just to make sure that we all are on same page. Okay. So this is how you make your survey. We already have 75 plus readily designed, professionally designed templates available on our website. In case if any of the topic of your choice, which is relevant to our templates, you can use any of the templates. In case if there are a few questions in templates but you don't want to use entire template, you can choose few questions out of the given questions from the template as well. In case now there has there used to be a method where people used to gather all the information on Microsoft Word. So in case if you have any Word file, you can just import it from over here. Your entire questionnaire will get converted onto QuestionPro platform. In case if you want to start with a new survey, new study, just click on start from scratch and give it a name. Like for example, I say test and I create. Okay, so this is your page. Just click on add questions. Now these are the different types of questions that you can use to make to add your questions. So we have two types of questions. One is basic and the another is advanced. So in basic we have multiple choice. In multiple choice we have select one, select many, drop down menu. Now for example, if I say select one, so in this if this is the question, how often do you conduct surveys? Your answers are weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. So basically you ask your respondent to select any one option out of the given options. Okay, so I'll just give you a preview of one question. So this is your question: how often do you conduct surveys? You already have two options available. In case if you want to add more options, you can add more options. For example, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. Just save. This is how you add a question. Take a preview. How often do you conduct surveys? Monthly. Done. This is how you add question. Now again, to add next question, click on add question. Then in multiple choice we have select many. First is select one, then we have select many. For example, what types of credit cards do you have? Select all that apply. So basically when you allow your respondent to answer more than one option. So basically in case if your respondent has Visa, MasterCard and Amex, then your respondent can choose all the three options, or else your respondent can select all the five as well. Then we have drop down menu. Then we have graphical rating. In graphical rating we have star rating, text slider, push to social, numeric slider, thumbs up and down, smiley rating. Then we have ordering. In ordering we have rank order, constant sum, drag and drop option. Then we have static content. In static content we have presentation text, section heading, subsection heading. Then we have text. In text we have comment box, email address, contact information. Then we have metrics table. In metrics table we have multi-point scales, multi-select, spreadsheets, side-by-side metrics. Then we have image chooser. In image chooser we have select one, select many, rating. So basically you can add an image to your existing questionnaire. Then we have miscellaneous. In that we have date, time, captcha, calendar and maps. Okay. Then we have advanced. In advanced we have customer satisfaction. In customer satisfaction we have net promoter score. Then we have Van Westendorp budget scale. Then we have image on multimedia. So first we have tuples, then we have video rating, heat map, then hotspot. Now again tuples and video are the two similar kind of questions, but the only difference and the very important difference in fact I would say is in tuple. So basically in case if you upload a video of 30 seconds and if your respondent stop viewing that video at 20th second, so actually you get to know in your analysis that at what second or at what time your respondent stopped viewing that video. While the next video is the simple video, you can upload a video. Then we have upload. In upload we have attach or upload file. Then we have signature. Then we have choice models. In choice models we have conjoint analysis, max diff analysis. Add-on we have complex grid or flex metrics, custom numeric validator, community recruitment, Facebook Connect. Then we have data reference. In data reference we have reference data, lookup table, multi-tier lookup table, store locator. Then we have mobile. In mobile we have QR code, stopwatch, barcode, QR code reader, logic, randomizer, custom logic engine, healthcare. It is healthcare we actually added because one of our actually client wanted us to add this in healthcare segment, wanted to add this option in the question, so we have just added that. So this is also one kind of plus point you can say, in case if there is any kind of modification, or in case if there is any customization that you want in your account, you can just get in touch with our technical team, or else you can write us to at edu@questionpro.com in fact for any query, and we'll make sure that your query is resolved by the consent team. Okay, so I've covered the part that we actually scheduled for last week. So moving ahead, now we'll be going with logic. So topic for today is logic, then send options, and then the offline data, offline app. So in logic, I'll just take you through types of logics, what types of logics we have. Okay, so when you start adding a question, at the top you will see this tab. So first is setting, then copy, then logic preview. So click on logic. Here you are able to see all types of logic that we have. So we have skip logic, then we have compound or delayed branching, then we have quota control, dynamic text or comments, show or hidden question logic, then we have show or hide options, scoring logic, and then recommendation engine. Okay. So we'll start with skip logic first. So before I move ahead, I'll just give you very few basic examples which will make you understand how this logic works. Okay, we do also have a help file. So in case if you click on this question mark tab, so basically you'll be able to go through all the help files for all the types of questions that we have in our software. Okay, so very first of all, skip logic. Now what exactly is the skip logic? I'll take you through the live examples as well. So before I move ahead, I'll just give you one example. For example, now I have 50 audiences. Out of 50 audiences, I ask all the 50, okay, how many of you like cakes? Okay, so there are say 20 people who says yes, I like cakes. Then there are remaining 30 people who says I don't like cakes. Okay, so my next question would be, which flavor of cakes do you like? Now, is it right to ask the audience of those remaining 30 to ask which flavor of cakes do you like when they actually don't like cakes, right? So it won't be appropriate to ask those audience which flavor of cakes do you like. So it will be so we'll skip that question to the next question. Do you like ice creams? Okay, so in case if the audience says yes, I like ice cream, then my next question would be, which flavor of ice creams do you like? Okay, in case if your audience says yes, I like cakes, also says yes, I like ice creams, then my next question for them would be, would you like to place a order combo order for cakes and ice creams? Okay, so that is how we say applying logic. So it's it is very in fact interesting fact. In fact, I would say logic is one of the interesting things that I personally like the most in QuestionPro. Okay. So I'll take you through few of my surveys. Okay, for example, this one, logic questionnaire demo. Okay, this is the same example that I gave you. So let's take a preview of this entire survey. Skip logic. Do you like ice cream? I say yes. Which flavor do you like? Chocolate or vanilla? I say vanilla. Then again it asks me, do you like cake? I say yes. It asks me which flavor of cake do I like? I say black forest cake. Now this is something I'll get to know if I say yes for both. Now for example, again when I go back, I take a preview. Again it asks me, do you like ice cream? If I say no, it will ask me, do you like cake? Right? Again if I say no, it will terminate the survey. Okay? So this is one type of logic, skip logic. Then we have scoring logic. Scoring logic is usually used to conduct any kind of quiz competitions or say online test or any kind of exams, or I mean scoring exam. Okay, so basically if I have to give you an example, see I take a preview. Now actually we have a scores given for each question. Okay, now we have scores given for each question. I select answers randomly, I'm selecting. And it's done. Now how we actually apply a logic. Okay, so this is scoring logic. So this is your question. Grand Central Terminal, Park Avenue, New York is the world's largest railway station, highest railway station, longest railway station, or none of the above. Okay, so this is the score value. So basically you apply your scores, you give the marking over here. So in case if you want to give a 5 marks to right answer or say any of the, say like say 2. And if you want to give negative marking, you can give negative marking also. In case if you don't want to give negative marking, you can just put 0. Okay. Save question logic. This is how you add or this is how you apply logic to question. This is a scoring logic. Then skip logic. Again, I'll take you how you apply a skip logic.
Hi,
Hello.
Chetan.
Yeah. Hi.
Chetan, we have a question coming in from one of the students. I'm just unmuting the student. Yeah,
Please.
yeah. Hi, Ankit.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Ankit.
And
Hi.
good evening, sir.
Good
Going
evening.
back to the skip logic, can you please like show how the logic can be applied? Like I saw the preview, I
Right.
understood how it works, but then how can it be
Right.
applied to a particular question?
Right. Great, Ankit. Just give me a second. I'll come back to same question. I'll actually show you how we can apply a logic to. I mean, how we can apply skip logic. Okay. So this is logic. Okay. So Ankit, this is my question. Do you like ice cream, right? So in case if my respondent or if my audience says yes, then I'll select. Here's an option. If selected, jump to question. So which question do I need to jump? So which flavor of ice cream do you like? Okay.
Okay.
That is one. In case if my respondent selects no, then I would apply this third question. Then my next question would be, do you like cake? Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So this is how you apply logic.
Right. Got it, sir.
Okay.
Right. That should be it for now.
Great. Thanks Ankit for coming up with the questions. Students, feel free to ask if you have any kind of question, any types of question. Okay. Thanks.
Sir, one more thing, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes,
Sir,
I can.
I can see an option of typing text and custom variable assignment. So what are those options?
Okay. Just hold on for a second. Okay. Okay. So piping that is okay. Just hold on for a second. LAN. Okay. So Ankit, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Ankit, basically that is an optional. Okay. So for example, if you want your respondent answer yes. Okay. So if your respondent selects yes for options ice cream yes, then you can just add a piping over here for your next question, or just see ice cream. And then you select a variable. Just hold on for a second. Save question logic.
So basically, Ankit, I believe you were asking about
Yes,
the
ma'am.
piping text, right? So we have
Right.
another, furthermore to a logic that is being applied to a question. We on QuestionPro, we also have another feature which is called as the piping text, right? Now, what this
Mm-hmm.
feature does is it will enable you to carry a text from one question to the next depending on the options that have been selected for the question text, right? So for example, if you want to carry a certain text from question 1 and you want to use a
Mm-hmm.
similar text on question 2, you can do that by applying a piping text logic over there, right?
Oh, so like if a respondent selects the particular answer option, that answer option can be then used in the subsequent questions. Is it so? Like,
Subsequent
am I?
questions. Yes, yes, yes. You have that
Oh,
right. Right? Is
right,
it clear
right.
now?
Got it. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right, all right. I guess we can resume with the further things then.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Tripti.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ankit. So moving ahead for next question. I'm sorry, next type of logic. Okay. Okay. We have taken skip logic. We have done with scoring. I'm coming to compound or delayed branching. I think I'll have to prepare a new survey. Can you please help me out with new survey if you have compound or delayed branching? Okay, so students, I'm not sure if I do have a compound or delayed branching. So, but just I'll give you an example what exactly the
Even
compound
if
or
you do
delayed
not
branching
have
is.
a
So, for
survey,
example,
so Chetan, even if you do not have a survey for compound or delayed
uh-huh,
branching, you can simply add a
uh-huh,
question onto your existing survey and apply a
okay.
compound or delayed branching and just show the students as to how it is.
Now define a criteria name. For example, Tripti, just a small request if you can help me out on this. I'm not able to move in with this type of questions on this. Hello? Hello? Yeah,
Yeah,
Tripti, are you there?
yeah. Please tell me.
Tripti, I'm not able to actually put on this type of question for the given survey. If you can just help me out with this type of question
Yeah. So
for
students, we would like to just take a 2 minute of break right now. I think we are having certain technical problems right now. So if you could just allow us 2 minutes and we'll resume the webinar in 2 minutes then, right?
Yeah, hello guys. I'm so sorry for all this. There has been some technical issue from our side, and that is why we had to hold up this thing. So we'll quickly begin. Let me log in. So it's loading up. Kindly excuses for this glitch, but then we will be soonly starting with this. Right.
I guess they just let's just start from the very beginning, wherein we start from the survey logics and move on to send options, and then the offline app, right? Because it's
Absolutely,
hardly been like
absolutely.
10-20 minutes when we started with the webinar, and I don't think so like students are very clear. So let's just start from the very beginning, right?
Sure,
Cool,
sure.
cool.
So guys, what I'll do is I'll quickly build up a new survey. I'll add a few questions. And then I'll show around all the survey logic that we have. So while I'm building this survey, what I would also like to tell you people is, if you go to questionpro.com/sample, right? So please make a note. Every attendee, I would suggest you to please make a note. You just go to questionpro.com/sample. You will be redirected to this particular page in which you can see all the sample questions that we support. So at any point of time, if you wish to refer this, what all question types are available, how these question types can be used, what use cases are available, so that you get a fair idea of what these question types are. Similarly, we have sample survey logic. So as we started earlier, there are a few survey logic which I'll be covering. There is skip logic, branching logic, etc. So I'll quickly add one multiple choice question. All right. So this is one question. I'll start with skip logic if some of you had missed it so that we can just revise it. So skip logic is basically, you can see it can be applied to a multiple choice question, right? So this is a multiple choice question. So what skip logic does is, based on the answer option selected by a respondent, so it is a multiple choice question. There are say 4 options. Based on the whatever the answer option is selected, you can branch that particular respondent to us to a question in that particular survey. So I currently have only one question. What I'll do is I'll quickly add few more questions. So it would be more clear to you. See, I'll also show you one more feature that you can use while building a survey. You can copy this question. Say, I want to copy the same question. You can see the question has been copied, 1, 2. I'll add one star rating question, so it would be easier for we people to understand. So what I'm doing is I'm randomly adding a few questions so that we can save some time. So right, so skip question, I'll come back to skip question. See, to apply any logic, while you have added questions to your survey, you can see this option settings, copy, logic, preview. So you need to click on logic. So you can see how skip logic works. So if, say, a respondent is selecting weekly, monthly as an answer option, and if you want to skip this question number 2 and move him to question number 3, so this is how it can be used, right? I believe this gives you a fair idea of how skip logic works. Another interesting thing is the piping text. For example, I'll give you an example. My colleague Chetan earlier gave you an example like which do you like ice creams? If somebody is giving you a respondent is giving an answer option as yes, then you ask which flavor of the ice cream do you like, vanilla, butterscotch, etc. Somebody is selecting vanilla as an answer option. So what you can do is the next questions can be based on only the flavor that the respondent likes. So if respondent 1 has selected vanilla as the answer option, right? So the next question can be anything related to the vanilla flavor, but then you want to pipe that text to the next questions. So what you can do is, so you can basically pipe that particular answer option and then store it in a custom variable. So we'll be coming to this particular part at a later point of time. So what will happen is, as we had mentioned in the webinar 1, part 1 webinar, that QuestionPro supports up to 255 custom variables. So what a surveyor can do is he can store some values, some variables into this 255 variables, and then these variables can be recalled into your survey. I'll be giving you an example while I come to the custom variable part, but then whatever answer option is selected, you can simply store it into a particular custom variable and then recall it in a later part of that particular survey. So I hope there is a fair idea of how skip logic works. So if you have any questions related to skip logic, you can keep on asking these questions in the chat window. A QuestionPro manager will be answering all your queries, right? So this was all about the skip logic. Then moving on to the branching logic. So branching logic, what is now compound and delayed branching? So compound and delayed branching is what you can do is you can set up a criteria like for the first 2 questions. If the responses are say X and Y, so you can create a new criteria over here, right? If question number 1, the answer option is weekly, is selected or not selected. So you'll have to define the criteria. So if it is based on 2 questions, you can add additional condition. If question number 2, the answer option selected is say quarterly, right? And then you can save this criteria. So once this criteria is met, then what do you want to do with the respondent? So you can simply, you can see if the criteria is met, jump to say terminate survey. If the criteria is not met, then jump to question number 4. Set these branchings. So what this basically does is, for example, any survey wherein you are doing some kind of analysis wherein you require only, say you are collecting 100 responses, and out of 100 responses you want only 25% of responses, like you want only 25% of people who conduct surveys daily, right? And then if you have achieved that, then you branch to a particular question into that survey. So this is how quota control can be used. Now, what is dynamic text comments? So you must have observed that there is a question type, a text question type, or maybe a multiple choice question, for example, over here, you see others as an option, right? For this particular, I preview this. It's taking some time to load up. But then if I'm selecting others as an option, I have a text box over here to mention some kind of comments to this particular thing. So how often do you conduct surveys? The options are daily, weekly, monthly, half yearly. But I don't do it half yearly, I do it yearly. So I can select others and I can add yearly as an answer option, right? So in similar way, for the others option, it is by default available. But then if you want to use a dynamic text or comments box, so if somebody has selected a particular answer option and you want to have a dynamic comment box appearing over them so that the respondent can add some comments to it, to that. So for daily, if I enable it, right, and I save question logic, I'll have to enter a label. And I've saved this logic. So if you preview this, see how often do you conduct surveys. So I had added a dynamic comment box for daily. I click on daily, you can see a dynamic comment box appearing. So while designing a question, I do not have a comment box, but then I can go to logic and can have dynamic comment box added to any answer option. So for example, if you want to capture a reason, like how often do you conduct surveys? The respondent conducts surveys weekly, and you want to capture his additional comments, like what is the reason behind he or she is conducting surveys weekly. You can add a dynamic comment box and then capture those details from there. So I believe the dynamic comment box is also quite clear. Now show hide question logic is quite interesting. So I will give you an example of, right, so say I'm conducting a survey in my office. I'm just giving you a random example so that you understand the use case of this particular question. So I'm conducting a survey in my office and I want, so for there are male and female respondents into my in my sample, right? So there are different set of questions for male employees and different set of questions for female employees. So what I can do is I can build up all the questions that are meant for both, like male as well as female, in one survey itself. However, the first question in my survey would be, what is your gender, right? And if the respondent selects male as the gender, then only the questions that are meant for male would be displayed to that particular respondent. And if a respondent selects female as the gender, then only the questions that are meant for female respondents would appear. So this can be achieved by using show hide logic. So you can see I went to show hide logic, I click on create criteria. So I do not have that particular question. What I'll do is I will add one question at the beginning. What is your gender? Male and female, and I make this as mandatory. And now I go to show hide question logic. I define a criteria. What I'll do is I'll apply it to some other question. It's a text question, so instead of that, so you can define a criteria. You'll have to name that criteria. if say how often do you conduct surveys, and the answer option is monthly, I save this. If this is selected, then if this particular criteria is met, then show the next question, or you can hide the next question, or you can also do nothing. So based on the answer option selected, the subsequent question would be showed to the respondent or hidden from the respondent. So this is how show and hide logic works. So moving on to the scoring logic, as Chetan covered earlier, scoring logic is quite an interesting logic that can be used. For example, if you are having, say, weighted responses, so you want to assign some weights to a particular response, and based on the weights that the respondents, like the answer options that the respondents have selected, you can set up a particular criteria. So if the total score is say between say 5 and 10, then branch that particular respondent to a particular question. So this is how scoring logic can be used. I'll give you an example. Since you people are students, how scoring logic can, so this analogy I believe would be better understood by you people. So if say one of your faculty members is conducting an online test for you people, so there is an aptitude test conducted, there are say 10 questions in that particular test, or an online quiz. So every answer option, so it would be multiple choice questions, right? So for every question there will be multiple answer options provided, and one answer option would be the right answer and the rest would be wrong answers. So the right answer option can be given a score of say 1 and the rest can be kept as 0. Or if the faculty member wants to have negative marking, what he can also do is he can give out a score of 4 for the right answer option and can give out a score of -1 to the wrong answer option. Right? And I do not want to apply any branching because this is a test. I do not want to apply any branching, but then this is how the scores can be shared. So the scores can be any whole numbers and you can give out scores. So this was an example given for you people to better understand how scores work. Now once I've defined the scores, how it can also be used is, it also works like the custom variables which I mentioned earlier. So for example, there are 10 questions, then there are scores assigned to the right answer options, and at the end of the test, if the surveyor or your faculty member wants to show up the score, what has the respondent or the student has achieved, the score that has been achieved can also be recalled at the end of the survey. So if you can see thank you page, so it's opening up. Right. So what you can do is you will have to use a syntax called curly bracket open score curly bracket close. So if you mention this on the thank you page, once the survey has been taken, whatever the score has been achieved will be displayed on thank you page to the respondent. Also, how scoring logic can be used is, so I'll give you a quick example over here. So say if somebody is conducting surveys daily, now me, I being from QuestionPro, which is an online survey software company, so somebody who is conducting surveys daily would interest me a lot because I can help him in a better way. So I can assign a weight as 4 to him or her, whoever the respondent is. If somebody is conducting surveys weekly, I'll give a lesser weightage to that particular respondent. Somebody is doing it monthly, even lesser, and somebody is doing it half yearly, even lesser. And if the total score of respondents is say between 2 to 4, This is what, like it's a random example, but then you can simply set if the total score is this, then you can jump to a particular question in that particular survey. And if the score is not between 2 and 4, so if it is less than 2 or greater than 4, then I do not want to do any branching. So this is how the scoring logic can be applied. Rest of the logic are the JavaScript logic basically is, now I would like to mention here that QuestionPro is can be customized. This tool can be customized at whatever extent that the user wants to. So if you want to develop a logic into your survey which is not supported by default in the platform, then what you can do is, if you are into coding, you yourself can do it, or you can let us know and we can develop that logic for you. So we will have to add a JavaScript for that, and the backend team, our technical team would be working on that, and we can have that logic customized into your survey. So this was all about the logic that we have over here. I would like to show you, so if you would have noticed in advanced question type, you can see a logic question type that is randomizer. Now what is randomizer? See, what happens is whenever a researcher is working on a particular survey, right, the data that the researcher is collecting is very critical to him or her, right? And the researcher doesn't want the responses to be kind of incorrect, or maybe any random responses filled up by any random responder, right? So you actually want correct data to be collected. So in order to avoid bias into a particular survey, all these logics are used, and especially randomizer is used. So what randomizer does is you can randomize the order of questions. So how the set of questions appear to a particular respondent, it would not be the same way to the respondent number 2. So what happens is randomly any question is selected and that is displayed to the respondent. So this is majorly done to avoid bias into a particular survey. So you can use this randomizer logic question. So what I'll do is, instead of showing it to you over here, I'll quickly go to an example randomization. So this would be much easier for you people to understand. So instead of me building a questionnaire and then adding a randomizer, so there are two different ways of randomizing, right? What you can also do is you can randomize the answer options, or you can randomize the questions itself. So there is a bulk randomizer that can be used. So bulk randomizer, what does is you can divide your surveys into, say, different blocks. It is called as block randomizer. So say there are 3 different blocks into your survey. Each block consists of, say, 3 questions, right? So what this randomizer logic will do is any block will first randomly appear to that particular respondent in random order of questions. So say block 1, block 2, block 3 are the 3 blocks, and I apply the randomizer logic to the block randomizer to these 3 blocks. So what will happen is, for the respondent number 1, maybe the block 2 will appear first. The questions in the block 2, the 3 questions in the block 2 will appear, and then after that, say, block 3 will appear, and then block 1 will appear. For respondent number 2, in that case, maybe the block 1 will appear first, then the block 3 will appear, and then the block 2 will appear. So this is majorly done to, I'm so sorry, this is the incorrect help file. I'll quickly see if I can find a help file over here, or maybe, so we will have a ready-made example over here so that it would be easier for you people to understand. So you see randomizer question. So as you can see, if you are stuck at any point of time, if you are stuck with any particular logic, how this logic can be applied, you can simply search for help and you will find a relevant help file appearing. So you can see under advanced, as I showed to you, you can select randomizer and then see there are two options. Randomly choose one question and display it. So out of the survey, say there are 10 questions. So by applying this particular thing, what you can do is you can select questions, randomization type, randomly choose one question and display it. So you can select the questions randomly and these selected questions will appear randomly to the respondent. I hope you are getting a fair idea of how this particular question type works. And I will also show you how the block randomizer. So randomize the order of list of questions, that is question block rotation. This is what I was speaking about earlier. So this option is used to randomize the order of group of questions or sections. So as I mentioned, you can have different sections or blocks into your survey, section A, section B, section C, and then the questions will appear randomly as ABC or CAB or BCA. So probably if a QuestionPro manager on the chat window can share this help file with all the attendees, they can simply go through it and understand how this particular logic can be applied to the survey. So that was it about the survey logic. So survey logic, basically it is used to make your survey smarter. So you have all these different options which can be used. So I'll now quickly move on to, so we have covered the first part that we were supposed to cover in this particular webinar, that is logic, survey logic. Now we'll quickly move on to the send options. So now what we have done till now is in the first webinar we showed to you how you can add questions, how you can build up your survey, how you can edit the surveys, like you can edit the interface, look and feel of the survey, do some settings around it. Up till now we were going through the logic, what all survey logic can be applied to the survey that you have already built up to make it smarter. So once the logic is applied, the survey is ready, now you can send it out to the respondents. So what we want to do is, we as a researcher or a surveyor, what we want to make sure is, we want to capture as much as data as we can so that the inferences that we get out of the analysis is, so we being from the research background, we know that higher the sample size, better the results, right? So we want to make sure that we reach out to a larger number of audience or a larger number of samples. The sample size is very high. So to achieve that, QuestionPro allows you to distribute the surveys using quite a number of channels.
Hi,
right?
Tejas.
So
Tejas, excuse me.
yes.
Tejas, we have a few questions coming in from the students for logic. So will you be able to take some of them right now?
Sure.
Sure. So we have a student.
If you can unmute.
Yeah. I'll just be unmuting the student. So we have a student with us named Riddhi. She has a certain question. I'm
Okay.
just unmuting her. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, Riddhi,
Hello.
please
Yes.
tell me.
Hi, sir. Riddhi here. I had
Yeah.
a question. The last logic you discussed was randomizer logic, right?
Right.
Now, in the logic, I guess there were two types of questions, two types of logics. The second was if I want to randomize block questions.
Right.
Now,
Right.
I didn't get that particular part. Can you individually we can randomize the questions that I got, but the second part,
Right.
can you please show me how to randomize the questions in blocks, how to assign blocks or how to do that? I didn't get that part.
So what I'll do is, Riddhi, building up that logic would be a little bit of time consuming and we have very little time on our hand. But what I'll do is, I do have a survey for that into my account. So allow me
Okay.
some time. I'll see this. Yes, I have found it. So this is the survey that I built randomization.
Okay.
Right. So see, I've added about 10 questions into this particular survey. The first
Yes.
question being a descriptive text. The second is name. The third is gender. Fourth is
Yeah.
age, right? Then how often do
Yeah.
you conduct surveys? What types of credit cards do you have? Then a drag and drop question, then a star rating question. So these are all the questions that I've added to my survey, right?
Okay.
Now, what I've done is I have divided, so you can see I've applied a logic, a randomization logic over here. So there is a filler text, you can see randomizer 2, mode randomly choose 1. So this, I'm so sorry, this is an example for randomly choose 1, but then now since I've opened up this survey, I'll just show you how it works. So I've applied this logic over here, filler text, you can see randomly choose 1. And then there are 1, 2, 3 questions. And then see the randomizer ends over here. So I have applied this randomizer to these 3 questions, name, gender, and age, right? So you see the sequence, first is name, gender, and age. I'll just preview this survey for your better understanding.
Okay.
Right, so this was the first question, that is descriptive spacer text here.
Yeah.
I'll not enter in over here, I'll click on continue. So the first question in that survey was name.
Right.
So name appears, then the next is gender, and then it is age, right? So say name, so this is the first respondent, right?
Yeah.
Age is say, and then the randomizer ends.
Okay.
And then we have the remaining questions.
Okay.
I'll just preview it again. Or what I'll do is, see now the first question that appears is age.
Yes.
Right. So there was some, I believe there is, I have not applied the logic correctly. There must be some technical issue over here, but see, I've ended the randomizer after age, and that is why the question has not appeared, right? So there is a, if you can follow that help file, which we'll be sharing on the chat window, you just follow those steps and you set up that logic, and it will be much clearer to you. I'll quickly see if I have the block randomization thing into my surveys. I'm so sorry for this, but there are many surveys into my account, and finding it.
Yeah.
I'll see.
No problem.
So if it is applied into this particular survey, I can show you. So Riddhi, I'm extremely sorry. I currently do not have a question.
No problem.
A survey prepared. What I'll do is, Riddhi, if you can drop your email address in the chat window, Tripti will make a note of it. I'll definitely connect with you separately. If we have more questions coming on randomizer, Tripti, please let me know so that we can build it up and then show it to students. But if not, then we will move ahead, and probably we'll connect with Riddhi separately and then help her with it. And also what we can do is we will share this help file with her so that she can just run through it, understand it, and then
I'm
try
just
it herself.
I'm just sharing the help file on the chat window. Riddhi, you can refer to the file over here then, right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Riddhi. Thanks, Riddhi.
Yeah, I guess we can continue with the webinar then.
Yes. Okay. So yes, guys, I'll quickly move on to the send options. So as I was telling you, we have different mediums or different channels which we can use to distribute the survey that we have created, right? So to distribute a survey, you can see, I just go back to my surveys. any survey, I'll just open up. Right. So this was the edit tab that we covered up to now. Now to send a particular survey, you'll have to click on send. So once you click on send, you can see all these options available over here. So I'll cover all these options one by one. So the first way of distributing a survey and the easiest way of doing it is by sending it out over an email. Now how it can work is, say you have created a survey and you have say 1,000 email addresses with you. With email management tool, what you can do is you can reach up to 1,000 people or respondents in one go itself. So this is the email management tool. Once you open it up, you can see all these options: compose, send, lists, and templates. So you can have some templates created and saved into your account. There is a default template as well. So this is the default template that we provide. You can simply edit it. So I'll come to the editing part later, but I'll cover all the fields one by one. So see, email management, compose. Under compose, you can see from. So this would be the account holder's email address. So if you want to change it, you can change it from here as well. But by default, it would be the account holder's email address. Then there is to. Then there is subject. So I'll come to the to part after I cover the rest of the things, because there would be a few things to cover here. So subject, you can edit any survey or any subject that you wish to have to your email that is going out. And then this is the email body. So email body is quite straightforward. You can simply so whatever you want to mention in that email, you can simply mention it. You can give out a short introduction about your survey, right? And then along with this email invitation, there has to be a survey link into the email so that people can click on that survey link. And that, so see, this basically is the survey link, as you all know. So this survey link needs to be present into the email body so that people going through the email can simply click on the survey link and take up that survey. So there is a way to add a survey link, so you can have multiple survey links added to your email invitation. So how you add survey link is, you see all these options below. So this is insert survey links. You click on this, and then if you want to track the respondents, so track respondents, what it will do is you will understand from which email address was the survey accessed. So the email ID will be mentioned, and you will be able to track the respondents. If you want to keep the respondents anonymous, you can simply use anonymous respondents. So what I'll do is I'll insert one survey link over here. You see a survey link with tracked respondents. See, you see the survey link appears over here. So in your account, it would look like this, but when it goes out to the respondent, so there will be a text appearing over there which will be hyperlinked to this particular link. So you can customize this link, so it can be start survey, or if you are taking registrations for a particular event, you can have it register here. I'll just keep it as start survey. So this is how you can insert survey links. So this is one important thing which I believe I wanted you people to know, how you can insert survey links. So this is how you build up the body. Now in the to field, you can simply mention the email addresses. Say I mention you can simply mention email address separated by a comma. Right? It can be any. So you can have these email addresses mentioned directly over here. But if you want to do bulk, if you want to do an email blast, so if you want to send it out to say 1,000 email addresses, as I said earlier, so what you can also do is you can have those 1,000 email addresses collated into an Excel file, and then you can upload that Excel file, all the email addresses from here. So you can see select an email list. So if you already have email list uploaded into your account, you can find see all those email lists over here, or you can create a new email list. So people, please, this is quite an important field wherein I will also be covering the custom variables which I mentioned earlier. So I click on create email list. So what you can do is you'll have to name this email list. Right? And then you can keep this email list as a service specific list or a global list. Global list is, if you upload this list as a global list, it would be available across all the surveys into your account. If you upload it as a service specific list, this list will be limited only to that specific survey, right? So I keep it as survey specific. I click on create new list. Right. So when I go to create new list, you can see there were options of compose, send, and list. So you can do it from list as well. You can simply go to list and upload an Excel file or a CSV file, or else from the compose option, as I said, you can follow this process and then upload the Excel file from here. So see, import contacts, you can see there is an example file provided here as well if you want to refer it. So here you can see advanced settings. So now when you're uploading an Excel file into the account, there needs to be a specific format that needs to be followed while preparing the Excel sheet. Specific format as in the system should understand what all things are there in the first column, what all things are there in the second column, and so on. So you need to click on advanced settings. So see, you can have data format selected from here. So you can have only the email addresses. That is only one column in which all the 1,000 email addresses mentioned. So you select this, then in that Excel file you will have only one column with all the email addresses, and you can simply browse it and upload it from there. Now comes the very important part. You can see a format as, the second format as email address, first name, and last name. Now say you have the email list and you have their names as well with you, first name and the last name, and you're sending out an email invite and you want to personalize that email, right? So you want to greet him or her with his first name. So in that case, what you can do is you can upload an Excel file with email address, first name, and last name, right? You will have to select this format. You'll have to prepare the Excel file in which will have 3 columns, email address, first name, and last name, and you can upload that. And then there is a specific way of calling that first name and last name into compose email. So I'll quickly jump to the compose part and show you how you can call the first name and last name. So while covering the scoring logic, as I mentioned, you can recall the score that has been achieved by a particular respondent. And I also mentioned about the custom variables. So the first name and last name also work in a similar way as the custom variables. So you see, you can write here hello, and I want to mention the first name of the email receiver. So how I can do is I can insert those variables from here. You can see this option, insert variables. You click on this, you can see options, first name, last name, custom 1, custom 2, and all this. So you can simply click on first name. You see, hello, first name. So this is a syntax that the system understands. But once you upload that Excel file, whatever value is present against that email address in the first name field will be recalled over here. So what I'll do is, instead of so how this Excel file needs to be is, first column would be email, right. So similarly, you can have thousands of email addresses into an Excel file. So you see, if I'm uploading this particular email list to that survey, you see, and I have inserted the first name over here. So for Tejas, so this email address, the email would read as, hello Tejas, please take this survey with the survey link. If I've sent it to Tripti, if the email that Tripti will read is, hello Tripti, please take this survey. So I believe you've understood how this particular thing works. Similarly, now I'll come to the custom variables part. So I go back to lists, I create a new list, or in fact what I'll do is, see, I created this email list. So whatever email list that you have uploaded into your account, you can manage those email lists from here. You can simply delete it, rename it, all those things. So this was the email list that I was creating. So you can see I'll quickly cover a few more. So I wanted to cover custom variables, what custom variables are, right? So the third format that you can see is email address, custom field 1, custom field 2, custom field 3, etc. So as mentioned earlier, QuestionPro supports custom variables up to 255. So you can have different text mentioned and defined as custom variables. So for example, I see this is custom 1. I'll not add lot many things, but say custom variable 1, I want to mention the institute's name. Say, and for Tripti it is right, Institute of Management Institute, and so on. There would be different number of institutes. I've just taken a random example. So you can define custom variable 1 as the institute name. The custom variable 2 can be the city name, say Pune, say Mumbai, and so on. So you can have up to 255 custom variables defined, which can be uploaded while uploading the email list itself. And then there is a specific way to recall these custom variables. I'll show you the format as well. So while uploading an email list, what you can do is you can simply select the format, and you will have to prepare the Excel file in that particular format, and then you can upload it, right? So I'll quickly show you an example of how the custom variables can be used. As you can see, I've used the institute name as a custom variable 1 and the city name as a custom variable 2. So I'll go back to the compose part. So what I'm doing is I'm showing it to you in the compose part, but then once you have defined custom variables and uploaded it to your survey, you can use those custom variables at any point, anywhere into your survey, into your questions, into your answer options, and you can recall those custom variables. So the syntax that is used to recall a custom variable is curly bracket close, custom, I'm recalling custom variable 1, so custom 1, curly bracket close. If I want to recall, I'm so sorry, I want to recall custom variable 2, I can mention it over here. So how this would work is, it would be, if it is sent to Tejas, then this email would read as hello Tejas, then custom 1 would be the institute name, as the Institute of Management will appear over here, and then custom 2 is the city name, that is Pune, would appear over here. So this is how you can use it into an email invite, or I go to edit survey. I want to use a custom variable in a question. How satisfied are you with, say, I want to mention the institute name over here. So what I can do is, how satisfied are you with curly bracket, so it is custom 1, curly bracket close. So I have not uploaded the email list yet, but if I've uploaded it, And if I preview the survey, the question then would appear to a respondent as how satisfied are you with Institute of Management. If it, in case it was sent to Tripti, it would read as how satisfied are you with the Institute of Engineering. So this is how custom variables can be used. So I tried covering two things, uploading an email list and custom variables. I will quickly show you around, I'll go to the list itself. One important thing, so if you could recollect, if people had attended our first webinar, I go to edit, I go to security. You see survey authentication can be set up. So you can have an email ID password combination. So the respondent will have to enter in the email ID password combination to access that survey. So you can define those email IDs and password while uploading the email list, right? So if you want to have an email password combination authentication, so how this can be done is, I'll again go to the send options, lists, go to this, go to advanced settings. You can see this option over here, email address, first name, last name, password, custom field 1, custom field 2, etc. Or maybe you can have, right, email address. So see, like before setting up a password for a particular survey, you as a survey admin will first have to define that password, right? You will have to set a password. So what you will have to do is you will have to choose this particular format, and then you will have to prepare the Excel file in this format, wherein the first column is email address, second column is first name, third last name, fourth will be password. So in the fourth column you will be defining the password for that particular survey taker. So for Tejas, I'll again take this example. So say the fourth column was password. So this is where I define the password. For Tejas, the password I say is, and for Tripti it is capital password. So I'll have to define password. So Tripti will have to enter in this email ID and this password, then only she can access or respond to that or take that survey. And Tejas, similarly, Tejas will have to enter in this email address and this password. So this is how uploading email list. You can see all the formats over here. You simply click on browse. Now in my Excel file, the first row is email, first name. So these are headings to the rows, to the columns. So you will have to select, skip first line header, and then upload that particular email list. So this is how you can create and upload a particular email list. It can be into Excel or CSV. Once you have uploaded it, you can simply select a particular email list, see this, and you can click on send. When you click on send, this particular email invite will be sent out to all the email addresses into that particular email list, right? Also, if you wish to schedule the email invite at a later point of time, for example, I have designed my survey today itself. I'll give you an example of, say you have a particular event in your institute, which is happening on this month end, and you have created a survey, event feedback survey, and once the event is done, then you want to send out the survey to whoever had attended that particular event. So what you can do is you can build up the survey in advance, you can have the email list uploaded in advance, and then schedule it for some other time. So you can schedule the invitation, you can have the date and time, and then the email invite will be sent accordingly. So yes, I believe I have covered the compose part and the lists part. Coming to the send part, now once you have sent out an email invite, you can see all the sent emails. Now I have not sent any email invite over here, but you can see all the sent emails. What I'll do is I'll quickly go to one survey wherein you can check out these options. So this is the survey, this is the send options. Now I sent this email invite. I click on send. You can see I sent it on 8th of May to 86 people, out of which 28 bounced, 86, no people have viewed it. You can see 0, right? So you can see and manage all the sent email addresses from here. Now, for example, say just consider that I had sent it to 86 and say 10 people had viewed it. So 76 people had not viewed my email invitation, right? So you will see an option appearing over here, send reminder. Now this was the latest email invite that I sent. That is why you can see the send reminder option over here. So what send reminder does is, once you click on send reminder, what happens is the email invitation is sent only to the pending people on the list. So one respondent has already completed, so the reminder will be sent out to only 57 people. So this is how you can manage the survey distribution history. And then going to templates, so you can have different templates created, create a new survey invitation. So you can have templates created into your account and saved, and you can use the same templates into different email invites. So this was all about the email management tool. I'll show you one more thing. I missed out on one thing. I showed you how you insert a first name, last name. So I told you the syntax to be used to recall a custom variable in the email invite. Instead of using the syntax, what you can simply do is you can click on custom one, and you can see. I'm so sorry I missed on this. So the syntax actually is dollar curly bracket open custom one curly bracket close. So this is how you can insert custom variables as well, provided you have defined those custom variables. So this was all about the email invitation tool. So this is the extensively used tool to distribute the surveys. So you can send out to multiple people. Now you can, in fact, every one of you who has a QuestionPro account can send an email invite to up to 50,000 email addresses, which is a huge number. So if in case you have an email list of a lot of people, you can simply shoot it out to these people and then collect responses from them. The other way of distributing a survey is social. So what social is? It is basically distributing your service to the social media channels. That is, you can have your service floated onto Facebook, that is your Facebook account, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So quite an easy way. Like if you float it to Facebook, all your Facebook followers or friends can see that. I'll give you an option. So you'll be asked to log into a Facebook account, and you will be asked, see, QuestionPro survey, Kaslingam, this is my account. You can mention something, and this will be posted to your timeline, and all your followers or friends can take the survey from there. Similarly, you can post it to LinkedIn as well, and similarly, you can tweet it as well. So what happens with this is, along with the email management, you have sent out email invites to a lot of people, but then with this, what happens is, say you have 1,000 Facebook followers. All these 1,000 people can access the survey and take that survey. Similarly, LinkedIn connections, similarly, Twitter followers. So this is how the reach goes on increasing. So quite an innovative way, and you people can also use it into your research activities. Then coming to the third option, that is community. Now, community basically is a separate product that we offer. So you as students will not have access to communities, but I'll give you a brief of what community is. Now say you have survey floated to, or maybe you have a research panel. Now what a research panel is, say you have a pool of 50,000 people, right? Out of this 50,000 people, these people can be from different sectors, from different institutes, from different backgrounds, etc., etc. So it is, we in research terms we call it as panel, And then you can have different subsets created. So subsets can be, if you want to do a customer satisfaction survey and for say a particular product that is a mobile device, and you want a specific, out of this 50,000 panel, you want only say 10,000 people to take up this particular survey. So you can have different subsets created, that is samples created within that particular panel that you have. And then so that this can be called as communities, right? And to manage the communities, all the communities that you have, this product is used. Community is, as I said, is a separate product which can be used. So you can set up invitations to different communities, you can say create a new project, etc. So since it is of very little use to students, I will not cover this. Third option, or rather the fourth option to distribute surveys is embedding it to the website. So we call it as a website embedded service. I'll give you an example. If you people are conducting a survey for your institute, just an example, but during an internship, if you are doing it for a particular company, say you are doing a website feedback survey, right? And you want people to, like whoever is visiting the website, you want them to take up a survey. So what you can do is you can embed your website, you can embed the survey to your website. So there are different ways of doing it. So there can be say a web pop-up survey. So what a web pop-up survey is, somebody is visiting my website, that is QuestionPro.com. So while he is scanning through the website, a pop-up would appear and would ask the visitor, like, do you want to take this survey? Give us a feedback on this website. So this can be a website, a web pop-up survey. Then there can be an exit survey. So I'm currently say on QuestionPro.com, right? And if I exit this website, I close this website, then a pop-up would appear. That is an exit survey. So while exiting a website, you will be asked, do you want to take a survey? Do you want to give us a feedback on the website? That is an exit survey. Similarly, you can have a feedback tab feedback, that is on the website itself. You can have a button on the right hand side, anywhere, like wherever you wish to put it. So you can have a feedback tab. So anybody while scanning through it can simply click on that feedback button and then give out the feedback. So this is how you can embed the surveys to a website. So how companies innovatively use this is, you must have seen while you visit a particular website and say you go to the contact us section. In the contact us section, there is a form which captures a few things: name, email ID, phone number, etc., which would be the best number to reach out to you, etc. So this basically, this is a form, but then you can use a survey as a form onto your website. You can simply build up a survey with all these questions: name, email address, phone number, what is your requirement, etc. And then that can be, I wanted to show you an example, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to show it over here. But yes, you can have these forms developed, that is a survey developed and pasted onto your website. So this is the JavaScript version. So this is the code which you can simply use, and then it can be passed over to the website admin and he can paste it over there and the form would appear. So this is how you can also, so whatever traffic that you have visiting your website, you can have feedbacks gathered from there. The other option is QR code. QR code, everyone must be knowing what a QR code is. So for every survey that you create, there is a unique QR code generated for that particular survey. For example, this particular survey, this is the QR code for it. So you can download this QR code, or you can download it, or you can paste that particular image anywhere. Everyone must be using Paytms to make payments. So you see a QR code, anybody with a mobile device can simply scan the QR code and make a payment out of it. Similarly, if you want people to take surveys by scanning a QR code, you can use this QR code as well. So again, I'll give you an example of say I purchased something from Flipkart. The delivery guy comes to my place, delivers the package. So what Flipkart can do is, or it must already be doing is, on the package itself, they can simply paste the QR code, and the delivery guy can ask me to simply scan the QR code and give a feedback on that particular product or the delivery process. So this is how QR code can be used. So all these options can be used to maximize the reach of your survey. The last option is buy responses. So buy responses is an additional service that we provide. So how it works is, say you are doing a survey and you want a specific set of respondents with a specific criteria. For example, you want people from the US who are working in an IT firm, working in an HR department, and who have, say, 5 years of experience. So this is your specific criteria for the survey, and you do not have those respondents with you. So you can simply let us know, and we will provide those respondents to you, right? So we will have you can simply let us know. You can send across a request and we can help you get a quotation for it. So we'll ask you a few questions and then we will get back to you with those respondents. So if you want 300 respondents, 400, 500 respondents, we will get those respondents for you. So only the thing is, this is a paid service that we offer, and but if in case at any point of time you come across any such requirement, please let us know and we will help you with it. So I believe I've covered all the distribution options. So till now we have covered building a survey, then making the survey smart by adding logic, and then distributing the service, which is quite an important part of data collection. So that should be it. If you have any questions, like Tripti, if you can, if there are students with any questions, you can simply unmute them and I can try answering a few questions.
Yeah, let me just try once. So we have one of the students, Vijay Lakshmi, with us, who has been attending the webinar since the beginning. Hi, Vijay Lakshmi. Vijay Lakshmi, are you there with us? I guess she's offline right now. Let me just try with a few other students. Srujan, are you there? Hey, Srujan. Priyanka. Hi, Priyanka. I guess Tejas, the students are right now, they're not, probably they're not attentive. Even though it's showing them online, none of them is actually responding. We also have Mohammed Rashad with us. Mohammed Rashad, are you there?
Yes.
Hi, Mohammed.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, hey, so we've actually done with the webinar, and I noticed that you were asking us a few questions also in the beginning of the webinar for logic and timer questions.
yeah.
So, what did you feel about the webinar? Are there any specific questions that you would want the presenter to, answer right now?
No, as of now, I am actually okay with it.
Okay, okay.
I just want to know that the timer responses will be like, if you can get through it, it will be a really helpful for me.
Mohammed, your voice is not clear. Could you please speak a bit loudly?
Okay. Can you hear me right now?
Yes, yes, yes. Please tell me.
Yeah. So the timer responses questions, you gave me the help links, right?
Right.
So would it be like, can you just give a demonstration so that it can make my life easier?
Yes, yes, yes. Tejas, so we have Mohammed with us. Mohammed, from which college are you?
I am Udaipur.
I am Udaipur. All right. So Tejas, we have Mohammed with us right now. He was actually, while the webinar was going on, he had a certain questions on timeout and timer related, stopwatch related questions. So probably if you could just give a quick overview as to where are these features, present on the software.
Okay, okay, fine, fine, Tripti, I'll take this up. So, Mohammed,
Hi. Yeah,
I'll
I'm here.
just show you, right, okay, just a moment. So, you are looking for a stopwatch question type or a countdown timer? What exactly do you want to?
Both actually. There's a specific countdown timer for the entire survey to be filled, as well as
Okay.
a particular question. You have a timer for a question.
Right. Yes. Yes. So fine. I'll first show you. I'm not sure if you attended the part 1 webinar, but we had covered this thing
I
in the
was
part
there.
1
I was
webinar.
there. I was there.
Oh, great. Okay. Fine. So see, once you go to edit surveys and you go to security,
Okay.
right? You can see a countdown timer over here. So you can have a timer set for the entire survey. So if you want the respondent to take the survey within 10 minutes or say 90 minutes, like up to 90 minutes, you can have a countdown timer set. What I'll do is I'll set the countdown timer of 5 minutes. I'll save these changes and I will preview this survey. So you can see a countdown timer started as soon as I open up this survey. So this is how the countdown timer works. I believe I was able to answer your question over here, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then there is a question type. I just I clicked on add question.
Okay.
You go to advanced and you can see a stopwatch question type over here.
Okay, fine. Got it.
Right. So do you want to see preview how this works?
No. It's fine. It's fine. I got
right. So under mobile you can simply play around. Like you can have a survey prepared. You can add a stopwatch question and just play around with it. I believe it is quite straightforward and you'll get a better understanding when you practically do it, right? So I believe both your questions, I could answer them. If you have any more questions, feel free to let me know.
One more question.
Yeah, please tell me.
Just one more question. Actually, regarding the mobile offline app. So, are you going to cover in this session or?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm extremely sorry, guys. If everybody is there, I missed out on that. Thanks, Mohammed, for reminding me of that. So we in fact had mentioned in the yeah, I'll do that. I'll be covering it right now.
Yes.
So like Tripti, if you want to mute Mohammed, I'll just cover it quickly.
Yes. Let's do that.
Yeah, thank
you. Yeah. Great. Well, thanks, Mohammed, for reminding me. So I've covered the send option, that is email, social, community, embed, QR code, and buy responses. One of the very important way of collecting data is also an offline mobile app that we provide. So every QuestionPro user gets a free mobile app. So one mobile app per account, right? You need not pay anything for it. So if you go to edit, you go to mobile, I believe this was covered, but not edit, sorry. You go to mobile, right? You can see one device key by default available. So what you need to do is you need to download the QuestionPro mobile app onto your phone or an iPad or a tab, and then it will ask for a particular password, and you can see this password over here, which we also call as a device key. You simply need to enter in the device key. I'm sorry, this is the device key. You simply need to enter in the device key, and then you can start using that mobile app. Now, how that mobile app works is, whatever survey you create into your account, or what I'll do is, right. So there are different folders created into my account, and there are number of surveys over here. So whatever view you see over here, there are this many number of surveys into my account. All these surveys will be replicated into that mobile app. So all the surveys would appear onto that mobile app. Now the best part of this mobile app is it is an offline mobile app. So if in case you are into a remote location, you do not have an internet connectivity, or you are in a particular event and you want to take feedback on the fly itself, so you can use this mobile app to collect responses. So how it works is all these surveys would appear into the mobile. You can simply open up a survey, hand over the mobile device. I'm so sorry for that. You can simply hand over the device to the respondent, and the respondent can give out responses to that particular survey from the mobile app. Now, as I said, it is an offline app. You need not have internet connectivity over there. But then once you have collected, I'll take an example of an event. In event, there are 50 attendees. You have circulated the mobile device to these 50 attendees. They gave out a feedback. You have all the data collected onto your mobile app. Whenever you are back into internet connectivity, you can simply click on synchronize button, and all the data that you have collected through the mobile app will be synchronized to your account. So this is another way of collecting data, right? As we covered the other send options, this is also another way of collecting data. And yeah, so I would in fact like to tell you all to download the mobile app and then try, like you yourself, you can build up a small survey, you can try answering to the survey, synchronizing the data, and you can then, like once we cover the reports part in the next webinar, you will understand how the reports can be analyzed, but you can simply collect the responses to a particular survey from the device key. One more thing I would like to mention here is, I mentioned that you will have one device key added by default, but then if you want to add another device key, so to a particular account, you can have as many device keys added. So you can add it from here, but please make a note, the additional device keys will be chargeable. So, right, if you happen to add, you will receive an invoice from our side and you'll have to pay for it. But then just, you can keep it in mind, like if at a particular juncture you need multiple devices, you can still have access to that. So yeah, so that is another way of collecting data. And yes, so with this, I believe, like Mohammed had this question, I hope I was able to answer it. If any other questions, like Tripti, if you can simply check if there are any other questions. We are almost done with the time, so.
Right. I don't think so we have any other questions. I'll just mute Mohammed. I believe he has a certain question. Mohammed, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, please tell us.
Yeah. Thank you for that actually.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Anything else, Mohammed? Like, do you have any question?
I have it in the report session, so I will put my questions in the next.
Right. So we will be doing the
so,
part 3 webinars on 31st, 1st and 2nd. So we'll be covering all the report section over there and all the features, right? Tejas, you were saying something?
Yeah, so Mohammed, you'll get an invite from our side. You'll get an email invite that like we will be scheduling this for the next week. This week we are covering the same thing tomorrow as well and day after tomorrow as well. That is send options and the survey logic. After that, we will have the next week, that is part 3 scheduled, and then we'll send out an invite and then you can register for it and attend it. So, so for all the attendees, we will be covering reports and managed data. So edit and send we had covered. We'll be covering reports and managed data in the part 3 webinar, which will happen next week. So you will receive an email invite for that very shortly. I also wanted to mention. Yeah, Mohammed, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I have done my entire project actually based on QuestionPro. So I have used QuestionPro and I've used the mobile offline app as well. So when I used it, so when I just synced the responses, some of the responses I lost it. So I think there is some kind of a glitch in your mobile app. So I just want to let you know about that.
So like I cannot, what I'll do is, Mohammed, I believe I wrote you an email last week itself. It was related to an email, right?
I got some of my responses.
I remember. So what I'll do is, Mohammed, I will check with your account. Actually, this should not happen. We have not received any feedback from any of our clients till now about this particular issue. But what I'll do is I'll just check with your account once, whatever responses you have got and all, and I'll get back to you. Probably we can speak again tomorrow and we can take this thing up then.
Okay, okay. Actually, right now, the issue has been resolved in the sense like I have completed my survey, so I have closed the survey. So I don't need those responses.
But then still,
that I have lost
if you experienced it, then we will just cross-check with your account, and then probably you can find the what exactly the glitch was. And
okay, okay.
Right?
Thank you. Yeah.
Fine. So all the other attendees as well, I would mention an email address over here. I believe you already have it, but please make a note of this email ID, that is edu-india@questionpro.com. So please make a note of this email address. Any questions, any queries while you are doing your survey, while you're doing your research project, you can simply write to us on this email address, and we will try to get back to that particular query as soon as possible and have it resolved for you and help you with whatever questions that you have. So I believe that should be it, Tripti.
Right. Thank you so much, Tejas, and all the attendees who are right now here with us. We're really happy that you guys are constantly coming onto the webinars and attending them on a daily basis. For any further questions, please do write to us on the email address mentioned by Tejas, edu-india@questionpro.com. Right, and as I said earlier, the part 3 webinars will be conducted on 31st, 1st and 2nd of June. So looking forward to the session. Thank you so much, Tejas.
Thanks a lot. Okay.
Yeah, good night.
Good night. Bye all. Thanks a lot.